Just went out to get my food bag. Yeah, look at the sunrise. Usually you don't get sunrises like this out here. It's day 5. I haven't seen anything like this. That's pretty cool. That's coming up right there. Look at that. It's a pretty good morning. Hopefully it's a good day, because that night was horrible. I'll tell you about it later. Look at that. Whoo, there's the sun. Have fun. Good morning, people. It's day 5. Got a beautiful day. Trail behind me I've already walked. I just got out of camp. It's about 7:30. It's cold. It's probably, I don't know, 32. But it's gonna be a perfect day to walk. My goal is to get to Train Mountain Shelter, which is about, I don't know, 15 miles-ish. So we'll see how I feel as the day goes on. But you know, I had a horrible night again. And usually I love the people. But last night, oh boy. We got some doozies out here. Usually at the beginning, there's always a lot of strange characters. I'll tell you about them later. You have fun today. Although falling on the white places. Here's what the trail looks like today. It's a lot of ups and downs, but nothing major yet. The last one was kind of steep, but not too bad. It's been about 4 miles of this already. And it's just a beautiful day. I mean, there's no clouds out. So I'll talk to you later. Okay, this is what makes the AT a little more challenging, or actually a lot more challenging than the other trails, because you're going up and over these rocks for a lot of sections. And it just slows you down. Like normally you can go 2.5, 3 miles an hour, but this stuff, you're down to 1.5 miles, 2 miles an hour. So, just trying to get through it. It'll get better. And you have fun today. Whew. Okay, I'm about 5 miles in. It took me 2.5 hours to get there. It was pretty good. On this trail is just not easy to cruise on. You're switching speeds and gears all day long. Now it's a slow section. I'm in low right now. So I just cameled up at a water source so I don't have to carry water. Drink about, a liter. Had some flavor in there. I use this thing called Simple Greens, and it's pretty good. So I got about 9 miles to go and 2 pretty good climbs in there. And my Achilles is starting to bug me a little bit, so right now it's not bad, but right before stopping there, and I stopped for about 15 minutes and drank a ton of water. Right before I stopped, my Achilles was starting to hurt a little bit. It's doing okay now, so I'm just going to slow down a little bit. I'm in no hurry. And I got 9 miles, and I got 7 hours to get there, so I'm just going to slow down. I don't want injury now. Injury now isn't very fun. So I'll talk to you later. Have fun today. The greens out here right today are just like in Washington. I'm going to take some pictures here in a minute. Have fun today. Okay, I just ran into a young kid from New Hampshire who I had walked with a little bit yesterday. He's 19 years old, which is pretty cool. I mean, I love that a 19-year-old kid to come out and take on this challenge. And very nice young man. But I walked with him yesterday, and I didn't really talk much. But I mean, we did. But I noticed yesterday at the end of the day, he stopped at the shelter before where I stopped, and he had forgotten his tent poles. And I didn't realize he had forgotten them from the beginning. He left them at home in Massachusetts or New Hampshire, wherever he's from. So he's been out here for 5 days. He's been out as long as I have. He doesn't even have tent poles. That's awesome. And he has a great attitude. He just reminds me of, I had a kid a long time ago, Keanu Stefani. Great kid, great young man. Brian reminded me of Keanu. So, I mean, imagine that. He comes out on the AT, he gets to Springer Mountain, doesn't realize he doesn't have tent poles until the first night. And it was raining. So he had stayed in shelters every night except last night. He showed me a picture of how he tried to set his tent up. It was pretty ingenious. So I thought it was funny. Again, there's all kinds of people on the spectrum out here. All kinds of people. Hey, you have a good night. Talk to you later. Okay, I got a few minutes here on a downhill, so talk about what happened last night and the whole spectrum thing and where we all fit on it. Well, there's a snoring spectrum, and you either are a snorer or you aren't. Or you fit right in there somewhere in between those two. Well, I think Jen says I'm kind of, at the non-snoring, but just a little bit, kind of. Well, I think that should be something we talk about out here because, last night, man, there was a guy. Now, when I got into camp last night, there was only one or two spots left, and everybody's kind of clumped together. But there was one guy parked right by the trailhead, and there was a spot by him, and I thought, okay, I'll just put my tent right there, not knowing that everybody else in that site, or most of them, had been hiking with that guy the whole time, and he'd been out here for a while. I've been out here, this is my 5th day, they've been out here 7 or 8 days. So they've all been hiking together, these people. So they all know each other. And, I get in there, I put my tent up, and we have a great time. Everybody's sitting around, cooking dinner, and setting up our gear and all that stuff you do out here. And nobody said a word. I put my tent up, and it started to get cold, started to get dark, so everybody just jumped in their tent, and it was only 7 o'clock. And it was cold, it was already getting dark, really dark actually. And I start playing I play chess on my phone and playing chess, and all of a sudden I hear this like almost cartoonish mocking of a snore. I mean, it was like one of those things, and it was like even 10 times worse than that. And I thought, well, maybe this guy's thinking he's funny and he's trying to make everybody in their tents laugh. But no, it kept going. I mean, it was almost cartoonish. And he was 20 feet from me, and it was not good. And I kept playing my chest because what I found is if you just kind of let them snore it out, usually after about an hour or two, they just kind of stop or they roll over or whatever. It got to be about 9 and he was still going. And I was done with chess and I felt like just packing my stuff up, but it was 9 o'clock, and when you do that in the dark, you always forget something, and I don't want to be that guy. Oh, it's just a nightmare. And I haven't slept good the whole time out here. So anyway, I thought it was odd that you would be hiking with that guy, this group anyway, hiking with that guy for 8 days, 7 nights, and you wouldn't tell somebody that just came into camp that guy is like a freight train at night. I mean, I've done it before. I was hiking the Arizona Trail last year, and I was hiking, or 2 years ago, and I was hiking with a guy, and we got to camp the first night. He put his tent up by me, and he was sawing logs. And in the morning, I said, look, I don't mind hiking with you, but I don't want you tenting by me because I couldn't sleep all night. And I probably said it a little bit nicer than that, but anyway, he understood. He got it, and so every night after that, he would come in. I'd have my tent set up. He'd come in at night, and he'd say, "Okay, where's the snoring section?" He'd put his tent away from me, which was cool. But man, that guy last night, whew. Well, I was surprised when his friends didn't say something to me. But anyway, hey, I'm doing okay. I got 2 hills left. They are steep monsters. I'm going up one now. And I will talk to you in a while. Have fun today. Okay, I'll do my wrap up for today. There's the sunset going down. That's my tent right there. You can see there's a couple tents around. There's sunset, a couple tents around. I went from Poplar Stamp Campsite to Tree Mountain Shelter. It was 14 miles. And the first, I don't know, I'd say about 8 miles were pretty good, but then after that, 6 miles of just ups and downs, man. But there's hardly anybody here tonight, so I think tonight's gonna be my first night of really good sleep, so that's good. I don't have much else to say other than, Jen, I love you more than anything you'll ever know. You are my angel. I miss you, and I hope you have a great night. And I got a text from a really good friend of mine. I'll tell you about him tomorrow, but a friend of mine, about a kid that we knew when we were growing up together playing Little League Baseball. So I'll tell you about that tomorrow. You guys have a great night. I'm into town tomorrow. I think I get into Hiawassee tomorrow, which that'll be good. Need some fresh food. Hey, have a great night.